Nothing causes more drama in football than a red card, ranging from the despicable, the crazy, to the downright confusing. Here are the 20 funniest red cards in football history. William Remy is one of the only players to be sent off twice in the same game. Remy's team, Legia Warsaw, were 2-0 down at home to Cracovia, and things went from bad to worse. A poor tackle from Remy resulted in a second yellow card, meaning that he was now sent off. But while he was about to walk down the tunnel, the referee called him back. The ref had looked back at the tackle on VAR and decided to change his decision. To Remy's delight, he saw that the referee had taken away the second yellow card, and of course Remy thought that this meant that he had gotten away with this challenge and could go back on the pitch. But the referee had other ideas. Remy was called back again, and to his utter confusion, he was sent off once again. He had been sent off twice in 2 minutes. The referee's thinking was that the official booking of the initial yellow card wasn't enough and he deserved a red card instead. When it comes to VAR, common sense usually goes out the window. In 2011, Arsenal were playing against Barcelona in the Champions League. Robin van Persie took a shot and missed. Next thing he knew, the ref was sending him off. This was Van Persie's second yellow, and according to the ref, Van Persie was kicking the ball away. Before Van Persie's shot, the linesman held his flag up and the referee had blown for offside. However, there was one big problem. Arsenal were playing in the Champions League in Camp Nou, and there is a slight chance that the 100,000 screaming fans may have drowned out the sound of the referee's whistle. In a 2005 game between Newcastle United and West Ham, a fight emerged between two players. However, both players happened to be playing for the same team. Teammates Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer were seemingly not on good terms. Apparently, Bowyer believed that Dyer had refused to pass him the ball, and Bowyer directed a not very nice comment towards Dyer, and they started fighting with each other. Interestingly, Villa player Gareth Barry intervened alongside other Newcastle players, even though this fight meant that 2 of his opposing players were getting sent off. The ref had one of the easiest decisions to make in his career and sent Dyer and Bowyer off. In 2021, Ibrahimovic was sent off, and to this day, nobody knows exactly why. The referee heard Zlatan saying something, was not impressed by this, and sent him off. This was during the pandemic with no crowds, so the ref could hear exactly what he said. Apparently, Zlatan had been arguing with the ref throughout the game, and his final words to him were, "So you're not interested in what I have to say?" And the red card was a way of saying, "No, Zlatan, I am not interested in what you have to say at all." But the only person who could match Zlatan's ego is Cristiano Ronaldo. When Cristiano Ronaldo scored against Barcelona in 2017, he decided to celebrate it in the best way that he knew how, by taking his shirt off. But flaunting his abs to the crowd came with a price, and he was given a yellow card. In the 81st minute, Cristiano looked to have been fouled in the box. The referee blew his whistle and Cristiano was ecstatic. But all this changed when he realized why the ref blew his whistle. Instead of awarding Cristiano with a penalty, he was actually awarding a free kick to Barcelona. This was because Cristiano had dived, and he was awarded his second yellow card for simulation. Wayne Rooney is one of the few players who has been sent off for sarcasm. In a 2005 Champions League game against Villarreal, Rooney fouled another player and was given a yellow card. But rather than leave things be, Rooney decided to sarcastically applaud the ref's decision. The ref was not impressed by this, so he gave him a second yellow card. Man United manager Sir Alex Ferguson was asked about the sending off and put it down to the fact that Rooney was still only 19 years of age. He said, "It's debatable whether it's a booking in the context of a game like that, but you can't applaud the referee. He's a young man and he didn't give himself a chance." When things aren't going your way, sometimes all you can do is laugh. In 2022, Ajax were 3-2 up against their rivals Feyenoord with minutes to go. And to wear the clock down, Ajax winger Anthony decided to go down and pretend to be injured, a move which would hopefully eat up some more time. While Anthony was assisted by the coaching team, he miraculously recovered and hopped onto the pitch. You can even see the Feyenoord manager laughing at his behavior. Anthony is then pushed over by one of his own players, which the Feyenoord manager also finds amusing. For time wasting, Anthony was given his second yellow card and was thereby sent off. And when things aren't going your way, you can also get pretty angry too. In 2013, West Brom were 3-1 down to West Ham. It was a frustrating game for West Brom, and things eventually took their toll on their player, Yusuf Mulumbu. With minutes left in the second half, Mulumbu was trying to get out of his own half. However, he had his shirt tugged on by one of the West Ham players, and in frustration, Mulumbu picked up the ball and booted it at his opponent. As you can imagine, he was instantly sent off, and manager Big Sam Allardyce was none too pleased. While Messi is now an undisputed hero in Argentina, his debut for the international team did not go according to plan. He came on as a substitute and didn't last longer than 40 seconds.
That's what she said!
When you're a small and skillful player like Messi, your opponents will do anything to intimidate you, and this is exactly what his Hungarian opponent decided to do. He was pulling on Messi's shirt and holding him back. In response, Messi flung his hand back and caught the other player in the face. The Hungarian player went to the ground and the referee looked towards Messi. Having only played a mere 40 seconds for the Argentinian team, Messi was sent off. Somehow, I think he has since made up for this mistake. Believe it or not, there are players who have deliberately gotten themselves sent off. In November 2010, Real Madrid manager Jose Mourinho ordered his players Sergio Ramos and Xabi Alonso to get sent off during a Champions League qualifier against Ajax. Real Madrid was already through to the knockout stage of the Champions League with a game to spare, and both players had yellow cards. However, if they both got second yellow cards during this game, this meant that they would be suspended for their last game of no consequence against Auxerre, and they could start the knockout stage on a clean slate. Both players decided to waste time during the free kicks and goal kicks, and they got sent off as planned. And there are even people who have been sent off without setting foot on the pitch. 2 years later, Real Madrid were losing 2-1 to Getafe, and to make matters worse, they had a player sent off. However, the player sent off was on the subs bench. Fabio Coentrão was on the bench and was not happy with the ref's performance. He decided to shout insults at him and called him something which rhymes with son of a witch. Once the referee heard this, he decided to punish him in the only way he could. Coentrão was sent off from the subs bench, but this meant that Real Madrid were pretty much unaffected. One of the strangest red cards happened more recently to Gabriel Martinelli in 2022. Arsenal were playing against Wolves. While dribbling down the wing, he lost the ball and it went out for a throw. The Wolves player Daniel Podence took his throw early but was pushed by Martinelli. Nonetheless, play continued on and Wolves pressed further down the right-hand side. Martinelli then chased the Wolves player Chiquinho down and then pushed him off the ball. The referee made a strange decision. He showed him his yellow card twice. First for the push during the throw and second for the shove further down the pitch. According to the referee, he had played advantage when Martinelli pushed Podence, and he was set to receive this yellow card for this offence when the ball went out of play. And it just so happened that the next time the ball went out of play, Martinelli had committed yet another yellow card offence. One of the most historic red cards ever happened to David Beckham in the 1998 World Cup. England were playing Argentina in the round of 16. The score was now 2-2 and Diego Simeone was trying to get into David Beckham's head. Simeone fouled Beckham, but that wasn't enough. In order to show Beckham who was boss, Simeone rubbed his knuckles against the back of Beckham's head while he was lying down. This forced Beckham to leave out his leg and trip over Simeone. Simeone, in true troll fashion, complained to the referee and Beckham was sent off. England ended up losing on penalties and Beckham was heavily blamed for England's defeat. Beckham would be booed in Premier League games throughout the 1998-99 season. However, Becks would have the last laugh when Manchester United won the treble of the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. Football is a contact sport, but not a martial art. However, Inter Milan player Felipe Melo seemed to think that he was in the middle of a karate match. Melo was clearing the ball but lifted his leg to such a soaring height that it landed upon his opponent Lucas Biglia's shoulder. You can see his boot land directly on Biglia and is quite close to his head. And there are no surprises with the ref's decision. It was an incredibly dangerous tackle and he was shown the red card. As well as getting sent off, Remy committed another foul in the box and gave away a penalty. His manager Roberto Mancini did not mince his words after the game. He said, "Unfortunately, Melo did two stupid things. We did the damage ourselves. We threw it away." Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is one of the few players who have been applauded by his own fans for getting sent off. During their 97-98 season, Man United were playing against Newcastle and had a corner kick. It was during the last few minutes, so United brought everyone forward. But when the ball came in, Newcastle quickly cleared their lines and there was no one back for United. At the halfway line, the Newcastle player, Rob Lee, was on his own and clear in front of goal. But Solskjaer was not too far behind. He was not going to catch up with him, but there was one thing he could do. Before he could get inside the box, Ole tackled him from behind, and because he was the last man back and it was a cynical foul, he was sent off. So he decided to take one for the team. In the 2006 World Cup, England were playing Portugal and Man United teammates Rooney and Ronaldo were carrying the weight of each of their country's hopes on their shoulders. At one point, Rooney got into a bit of a tangle with the Chelsea defender Ricardo Carvalho, and something happened when Carvalho was on the ground. It turned out that, in the heat of his frustration, Rooney stamped on his leg, and the first person to complain to the ref was Rooney's Manchester United teammate Cristiano Ronaldo, and Rooney was sent off. But the most iconic moment happened shortly afterward. While walking off the pitch, Rooney looked over at Cristiano, and Cristiano gave him a cheeky wink. Today, the only person hated more by the Rooney family than Cristiano is Rebecca Vardy. Eden Hazard once had an altercation with a ball boy. In 2013, Chelsea were playing against Swansea. The ball went out of play and Hazard chased after it. However, the ball boy decided to lie on the ground and conceal the ball in his stomach. Hazard could not get access to the ball, so tried to kick the ball from under him. Hazard then came away with the ball and looked to take the corner. Then the camera turned to the ball boy, who looked to have been kicked in the ribs by Eden Hazard. The referee calls Hazard over. I'm not sure what the rules are about kicking one of the ball boys, but in his view, this was a sending off. In 1997, Alf-Inge Haaland was playing for Leeds United and put in a tough tackle on Keane, which led to the Irishman being injured on the ground. Haaland stood over him and accused him of faking an injury, but this tackle ruled Keane out for the entire season and led Arsenal to winning the league. And Keane was known to hold a grudge. 4 years later, in 2001, Haaland was playing for Manchester City against Manchester United, and he did not waste this opportunity. When Haaland was on the ball, Keane lunged his foot straight through Haaland. Keane wrote about this moment in his 2002 autobiography and wrote, "I'd waited long enough. I fucking hit him hard. The ball was there, I think. Take that, you cunt. And don't ever stand over me sneering about fake injuries." And surprise, surprise, Keane was sent off. In an interview in 2022, Haaland said, "It is still there every day. The knee still hurts. That isn't going to go away. I have to accept that." And of course, had Keane tackled Alfie Haaland in between his legs in the early 2000s, the world may have missed out on Erling Haaland. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more.